France, not the first place you'd think avocados would grow. Yet in the south of the country, avocado trees are blooming across the French Riviera. It's still a niche industry, but how did these exotic fruits end up here?
We're in the heart of a very special region. Behind me you can see the Alps. They shield the city of Menton from cold air coming down from the north. The valleys here are just ideal for terraced farming. This land, which has always been perfect for citrus, turns out to be just as well suited for avocados because they share the same subtropical origins.
Until now, locals have been planting avocado trees in their gardens as a hobby. But over the years, the fruit became increasingly popular. The surge in demand has led this citrus farmer to quadruple his avocado production with up to 10,000 avocados a year.
This tree here is over 50 years old. It's a Fuerte variety of avocado, which is slightly pear-shaped. A single tree can produce 500 to 1,000 avocados per season. The harvest period stretches from December until March.
Yet Laurent has no plans to scale up to mass production. Commercial avocado farming is controversial due to high water consumption and chemical treatments that boost harvests. Laurent grows the fruit organically with a different watering technique.
We irrigate them the same way we do our lemon trees, using micro-irrigation, drip by drip. In theory, avocados might use slightly more water per square metre than lemon trees. But in practice, from what I've seen, the difference isn't significant in terms of results and the amount of water we actually use.
France is the biggest consumer of avocados in Europe, consuming 150,000 tons of avocados every year. But most of avocados are imported from countries like Peru or Israel with a significant carbon footprint. So one of the solutions is to grow them here, locally. France's leading supplier of avocado trees is based 200 kilometers away. Patrick has been selling saplings to French farmers for 40 years.
We're standing under avocado trees that were planted 5 years ago. This year's harvest is looking good. It's a variety called Pinkerton. They're very beautiful. They're smooth and loaded with fruit. They weigh around 400 grams each.
Patrick decided to specialize in avocado trees because he faces little competition. A profitable business, he says, with sales boosting because of climate change.
We couldn't grow many tropical plants before, but now we can, in the Var region. 20 years ago, we'd get temperatures as low as -6. Now, the coldest it gets is -2.5 or -3 Celsius. The climate is much warmer, which is why we're now able to grow exotic plants.
A troubling trend, but for Patrick, this is actually good news for consumers.
The advantage of growing avocados in France is that there's no overseas transport, no carbon footprint from shipping, and no pesticides that are banned in Europe. That's a huge difference.
The French avocado industry is hoping to expand, delivering fruits across the country, not just to consumers in the south of France.
Sure, these local avocados are slightly more expensive than what I usually buy, but that's fine. I'd rather buy them less often and know I'm supporting a local sustainable industry.
Dubbed France's green gold, the avocado industry is still in its early stages. In 2023, roughly 1,000 tons of avocados were homegrown. That's less than 1% of the country's total annual consumption.
And I'm delighted to say that the author of that report, Aurore Chloe Dupree, is with me in the studio. Hello, Aurore.
Hello, Nat.
Avocados have become so popular, haven't they, globally, that they're expected to become the second most traded tropical fruit in 2030 after bananas, with a production of around 12 million tonnes. Why the craze for avocados?
Well, avocados are a symbol of health, Annette. They're rich in vitamins and beneficial fats. They can help you manage your cholesterol, improve your digestion, your skin, your bones, your eyesight, you name it. Avocados are superfoods, which is why demand has skyrocketed in recent years. But there is a dark side to this global success.
Well, tell us, how does mass avocado production impact the environment?
Well, first, mass avocado cultivation contributes to water shortages. Why? Because avocado trees are thought to consume 4 or 5 times as much as water as natural vegetation. In countries like Chile and Spain, already facing droughts, it can be difficult to find enough water, not just for the avocado trees, but also for the population itself. Second, deforestation. In the largest producing countries like Mexico and Peru, vast areas of forests are being cleared to make way for avocado orchards, destroying wildlife, habitats, and disrupting the water cycle. This in the name of economic health, increase production, make more money, satisfy demands. According to the NGO Climate Rights International, in Mexico, over 25,000 acres of land has been illegally deforested for avocado production.
And beyond the issues such as water scarcity, there's also another big problem, and that being criminal activities.
Absolutely. The avocado industry has attracted the attention of Mexican drug cartels and other criminal groups who seize control of farms, threaten producers and steal their benefits. Now, there have been reports of killings and abuse to displace residents to deforest the countryside. Working conditions as well on some plantations are thought to be dreadful, with underpaid workers and their conditions being, their rights being violated. For Mexican authorities, it is difficult to put an end to this because they're faced with violence and because it's a lucrative business that boosts the country's economy.
How much money are we talking about?
Well, for Mexico, the avocado trade was worth roughly $3 billion last year. Check out this graph from the US Department of Agriculture. 1.2 million metric tons, that's 1.2 billion kilos of avocados, have been sold to the US in 2023 alone. Now, look how much the demand has grown since the 90s. The US market is the biggest in the world and accounts for roughly 80% of Mexico's total avocado exports.
So if all of these issues are contributing or due to a rather soaring demand for avocados, and I would say the Australians are to blame given the introduction of the smashed avo toast for breakfast, what can we as consumers do to improve the situation?
Well, first you could start buying local. If you're Australian, you can buy Australian avocados and you can reduce consumption. That could certainly help. But apart from that, there's not much that customers can do. It's up to our governments and the entire supply chain, importers, distributors, supermarkets, to actually boycott illegal avocado orchards and to ensure that unethical avocados don't end up in our plates.